Thursday, the quiet day, a number of students had started what they called a Honk In. So honk for peace. They had signs, and they stood at the intersection of Ivy Road and Emmett Street.
Police were around periodically. They weren't real happy for it. There were negotiations back and forth about where students should be and where students shouldn't be.
And a couple of the deans went down to talk to them. The police were there. The deans were there. They said, you can't block traffic. You can't. So they actually moved down south on Emmett Street towards the gym, Mem Gym, and eventually dispersed.
Earlier during the day, because it was pretty clear that something was going to happen, another honk for peace. We had heard rumors that there were police stagings at University Hall. No longer there now, right? So I got in my car and I drove out there with some friends just to see for ourselves. And frankly, I was shocked and actually taken aback and frightened. The parking lot was filled with police cars.
The next night, they started again a Honk In at the same place. And they were told to move. So they walked up University Avenue to the front or to the north side of the rotunda. And they're all standing in the plaza with signs and trying to block traffic, honking.
It wasn't as if we were flipping over people's cars or running into Charlottesville and burning down buildings. We're holding up signs that said honk for peace. I mean, that's basically what our form of expression was.
And those of us who wanted to still see the students involved were marshals. We had organized student marshals. We had armbands. We were there to do crowd control. And we were succeeding with that, although the street itself, the march through the street, I'm sure was a violation of the law, blocking traffic and the like. The crowd at that point had been reasonably peaceful.
Meanwhile, after what had happened Thursday, the governor and the university, I guess, combined, had called in the state police. And so the state police were standing on the north side of University Avenue. Students were on the south side. And I mean, these were police in full combat.
Bringing in law enforcement actually created more tension at the time. Didn't reduce the tension because we thought we were in charge of things and we'd done a pretty reasonable job of keeping everyone peaceful.
There was a black tie dinner in the rotunda that I attended, and we heard a big commotion. And I remember walking down the steps on the lawn side of the rotunda, then going around the rotunda toward the chapel. And right up there at the archway beside the rotunda, where you could look north, you could see Cars Hill. State troopers were lined up. I've never seen so many police. They were lined up shoulder to shoulder. It seemed like clearly from Cars Hill or from the intersection there at Rugby, all the way down to Mad Lane or near the church. They all had billy sticks, and there were people taunting them down where the stone wall is, and they were in the middle of the street along the dividing line for the traffic.
There was at least one that I can remember, truck that looked like some sort of an armored vehicle, the kind of thing that you would pick up money at the bank. And I don't know what exactly it was. And there were dogs. I mean, there were dogs. And there were police wearing different kinds of uniforms. And it was confusing for us because, we had in the back of our mind Kent State.